Most people think war hits markets slowly. Oil can hit your wallet in a week. Why does the price of a barrel change your grocery bill? Oil is more than just fuel for your car or jet. It's baked into the cost of moving goods, making plastics, and growing food, woven through every supply chain that fills store shelves. The moment war breaks in a major oil-producing region, traders on global exchanges react within minutes. On March 4, 2026, Brent crude futures surged 9% in a single day as headlines flashed across trading desks. Commodity strategists called it a textbook risk premium. Extra dollars were added not because barrels disappeared, but because the threat alone made every future shipment more uncertain. That instant repricing sets off the chain reaction that hits your wallet in the days to come. Within 48 hours, oil tankers and container ships start to reroute. Instead of passing through the Strait of Hormuz or the Suez Canal, vessels bound for Europe and Asia add up to 2 extra weeks by detouring around the Cape of Good Hope. Automatic identification system data shows very large crude carriers spending 14 more days at sea on the new route. Ship owners receive urgent bulletins from insurers like Guard and Marsh, warning of war risk surcharges ranging from $1,500 to $2,500 per day for each vessel transiting near conflict zones. These costs pile up fast, not just in fuel, but in insurance premiums, pushing freight rates higher before a single barrel is delivered. That extra cost does not stay at sea. It becomes the next link in the chain, tightening crude supply for refineries and adding another layer to the price you will pay by week's end. By the third day, refinery planners face hard choices. Crude supplies are pinched and the numbers on their screens shift fast. Utilization rates at key Asian and Middle Eastern hubs drop by as much as 12%, echoing past disruptions when a single feedstock source vanished overnight. The so-called crack spread, which is what refineries earn from turning crude into diesel and gasoline, swings sharply. Diesel margins soar, with the diesel crack widening by about 40 cents per barrel, while gasoline margins tighten, sometimes by 15 cents. One refinery planner put it bluntly, "We cut runs and chase the diesel premium. Gasoline can wait." These rapid adjustments ripple through wholesale fuel markets, setting up the next round of price moves that will soon reach retailers and, ultimately, your wallet. By the fourth day, wholesale prices for fuel and freight are already climbing. Diesel spot prices in the United States jump 9%, with Europe and Australia close behind at 8% and 7%. For businesses moving goods, this is not just a headline. It is a direct hit to operating costs. The Shanghai Containerized Freight Index surges 35% on Asia to Europe routes, while the Freightos Baltic Index for transatlantic shipping posts a 28% weekly gain. These numbers mean every shipment, whether it is groceries, electronics, or building materials, costs more to deliver before it even reaches a store or warehouse. Distributors and manufacturers now face squeezed margins, forced to absorb higher procurement costs or prepare to renegotiate contracts. The ripple is no longer theoretical. It is a daily reality in the numbers that drive the world's supply chains. On the fifth day, businesses stop absorbing higher costs and start passing them on. Supermarkets and logistics firms act first, guided by contract clauses tied to official fuel price indexes. In a typical agreement, a grocery chain's procurement team reviews the U.S. diesel spot price published by the Energy Information Administration. If it jumps more than 0.5% in a month, the contract allows the carrier to add a fuel surcharge, often capped at 5% monthly. When diesel prices spiked 7% in late February, surcharges of 12 cents per mile appeared on delivery invoices almost overnight. Airlines moved just as quickly. United Airlines filed notice on March 4th, adding a $15 fuel surcharge to every domestic ticket for flights after March 6th and $25 for international economy. Delta followed with a $12 fee days later. These surcharges are not guesswork. They are activated automatically by the same fuel price indices, and they show up in your checkout total before the week is out. By the sixth day, the numbers land directly in your wallet. At the gas station, a 9% jump in crude means pump prices rise by about 18 cents per gallon in the US, 4 euro cents per liter across Europe, and 6 Australian cents per liter. That's an extra $2 to $4 every time you fill up. At the grocery store, the average household bill climbs by 0.8% in the US, nearly 1% in the Eurozone, and 0.6% in Australia, roughly $5 to $10 more on a weekly shop, mostly in fresh produce, dairy, and cereals. Booking a flight, you will see new surcharges, $15 added to a domestic US ticket, $25 for international fares, and similar hikes in Europe and Australia. These are not abstract figures, they are line items on your receipt, all traced back to a single week of oil shock. Governments don't just watch as prices climb. They reach for emergency levers designed for moments like this. On the seventh day, energy officials authorize a release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. In 2022, the US tapped 30 million barrels in a single move, matching the scale used during previous crises. Similar actions ripple out as the International Energy Agency coordinates with member countries to flood the market with extra supply. Export controls tighten, with some countries restricting outbound shipments to protect domestic stocks. A spokesperson for the International Energy Agency in archived remarks calls these steps decisive interventions to stabilize supply. Each barrel released aims to calm markets, but traders and consumers know these are temporary fixes. They are signals that the shock has reached the highest levels of government. Central banks move quickly to reassure markets, but even words can move prices. The one-year inflation break-even, a key expectations gauge, jumps from 2.4% to 3.1% in a single week. As one central bank economist put it, inflation psychology changes faster than physical supply. Oil's chain reaction still decides what you pay at the pump, the store, and beyond. So, would you accept higher prices for stability or risk sudden shocks to save a few cents?